My daughter is in labor and she's...
18-year-old Marcia Goff and her husband Jamie were living with Marcia's mother, Sheena Roach, at her home in Springfield, Tennessee, while awaiting the birth of their first child. Sheena shared their happiness and looked forward to becoming a grandmother. But on August 3rd, 1993, their excitement and anticipation unexpectedly gave way to fear.
When I first found out I was going to be a grandmother, it was like, I'm really not ready for this, because I'd already told her I couldn't be a grandmother until I'm 40. You know, I don't want to be.
Around 7 p.m., Marcia's husband, Jamie, returned home from work.
How long has she been sleeping?
I don't know. I just got here myself.
Usually every day when I walk in, I'll kiss her.
How you doing?
So she woke up, and I was talking to her because she had went to the doctor that day, and I was going to say, you know, what all the doctor told her.
I think I'm going to go to the bathroom.
Okay. She's complaining about her back hurting, and then she got up and went to the bathroom.
Come on, Jamie, let's go get the truck.
Okay.
Mama, can you come here?
She was 6 months pregnant, and she was really calm when she called out to me the first time. It was like a question. She wanted to ask me something.
Mama!
When I came in, there was like a bloody puddle of water in the floor. I'm going to call the hospital. It really made me nervous because I knew that it wasn't time for her to have the baby. Yes, my daughter's 6 months pregnant, and it looks like a water... Marcia let out this really horrifying scream. I thought there was something coming out of her. I had no idea what it was at first. It was a dark blue color. It was really scary because I thought, well, surely that's not the baby because it's not time for the baby to be born. I don't know what to do. And then I realized that coming out of Marcia was 2 little feet.
At 7:15, Sheena's call for help came in to Robertson County dispatcher Phil Parker.
Emergency 911.
I need an ambulance ASAP. My daughter is in labor and she's 6 months pregnant.
Okay, ma'am, you need an ambulance at Mount Zion Road?
Yes, I do.
How old is your daughter, ma'am?
She is 18.
18-year-old? Is this her first child?
Yes, it is.
Okay, stay online with me. I'm getting an ambulance en route to you. No. Okay, has she had any kind of bloody show or anything?
Push, Marcia.
Tell her, do not push.
I'm sorry, the baby is already out.
The baby is out?
Yes, it is. Push, Marcia.
Paramedic Director Jackie Wilkerson was called in.
Okay, ma'am. Do you see the baby's head?
No, not yet. It came out feet first.
It's coming out feet first.
When I approached the console, Phil told me that she was 6 months and it was coming feet first. Usually those are very complicated and potentially fatal to the child. So time is of the essence in those conditions because the baby can die.
No.
What was going through my mind is, what am I going to do if this baby is dead? You know, I'm not going to be able to tell Marcia. You know, she's not going to be able to handle this.
Marcia, calm down. Do what?
Ma'am, I've got a paramedic online with me. Go ahead and talk to him. Ma'am?
Uh-huh.
Okay. What's going on right now? Is it presenting?
Yes, everything but the head has come out.
Okay. Is it face down or face up?
Face down.
Okay.
When I found out that it was face down, my concern was that the baby could suffocate in the birth canal.
It's going to get a little messy now, but you need to run your 2 fingers, your index finger and your next finger, in under the baby's face.
Okay.
And then just sort of create a little air pocket there, okay?
Okay.
If there's no complications, the baby should deliver okay, all right?
I was very concerned for Marcia because I've heard a lot about women dying from having babies.
I'm sorry, Marcia. I'm trying to get the baby.
I know it's uncomfortable, but tell her we need to get an airway for the baby.
I was scared for her. I love her more than anything in this world. I didn't want nothing to happen to her.
What am I going to do about the cord?
Okay, just as long as the cord's not pinched off, just let it be okay. It'll come out on its own. Okay? Has the baby come out yet?
Yes, it has.
Is it breathing? Is it crying or moving?
No.
It was almost a morbid no, and that really concerned me. Being 3 months premature, there's a big chance of a lot of things not being fully developed at that point in time, so there was a lot of things that were stacking up against this baby.
He's moving. Oh, God.
Is he moving? Ma'am?
Yes.
Is the baby moving?
Hurry.
I felt like my heart was just fixing to beat out of my chest, not knowing if that baby was breathing or not at that point in time.
Well, he did.
He just looked so scary to me. He was so tiny and so lifeless. It was killing me because I didn't know what to do for him. And I thought he was going to die right there in my hands.
Is he making any efforts whatsoever to move or breathe?
No.
Okay. All right, what I'm going to do, take your feet and thump him on the bottom of the feet a little bit, see if you can stimulate him, okay?
The bottom of his feet?
Bottom of his feet. Just thump him on the bottom of his feet, see if you can stimulate him a little bit.
This grandmother has done such a fantastic job up to this point getting the baby delivered. In the back of my mind, I'm thinking, how am I going to tell her that she's got to do CPR on this baby?
Just keep thumping, see if it... Okay? He's crying? All right.
After he let out that first cry, nobody could ever imagine how wonderful that was. We were kind of laughing and crying at the same time. It was a very exhilarating moment.
All right, need to get somebody to get some blankets. You need to wrap the baby up good, okay? You need to keep him warm.
Blankets.
All of a sudden, there was just jubilation in the whole house. You could hear it over the phone. But because we had to do so much stimulation to get him moving, I didn't really feel like we were out of the woods.
Is the ambulance on the way?
Yes, ma'am, they're coming on, okay? Just everybody stay calm. Everything, the worst is over right now, okay?
Within 8 minutes, the 1st Robertson County Rescue Unit arrived on the scene, led by paramedic supervisor Mike Clark.
Is he breathing? When we first saw the child, we were very concerned. He was very blue. He was laying real still. He would not respond to very much stimulation at all.
When the paramedics got here, it was just like a big weight off my shoulders.
It appeared that the family thought everything was fine. They were elated that the child had been born and they had part in it. But we knew we had a very critical situation on our hands. We did not expect this child to survive.
A 2nd ambulance arrived to take Marcia to the hospital.
After Marcia had the baby, she just got up off the floor and walked to the stretcher like it wasn't no big deal. I told them to give me some drugs. I think I was shook up more than she was. About halfway to the hospital, a miracle happened. He started moving his arms and legs, and he started crying. And it was like the hand of God touched him.
3-pound, 1-ounce baby Brian Goff was taken to the neonatal unit of Vanderbilt University Medical Center. There he was put under the care of pediatrician Dr. Margaret Rush.
Baby Brian was born in an unwarmed, unprepared environment, so he actually became cold stressed. But his lungs were mature and he was able to breathe on his own. Really, he did very well. The real problem that Brian had was that he would have periodic pauses in his breathing. The concern is obviously that it could be a risk factor for sudden infant death syndrome.
You can do a little arm. Yeah.
On the 4th day after Brian's premature birth, his parents were finally allowed to hold him for the first time.
What really frightens me is the fact that we almost lost him. And seeing him laying over there in the hospital was the worst feeling in the world. But he's just a fighter, and I knew that he was going to be okay and he was coming home soon.
Brian spent more than 6 weeks in the hospital. A few days before his original due date, he came home to join his family.
Okay. You're coming out. You're coming out.
I know the granddaddy. I really love being a grandmother. He is the most special little child that was ever put on this earth to me. And I love him so much. And being there when he was born has made him that much more special to me.
My relationship with my mom has gotten stronger through this. I couldn't have made it without her, and I love her a whole lot.
Are you Sheena?
I'm Sheena.
How you doing? Glad to. I'm Jackie. This is Mike.
Nice
I don't
to
think
meet
you
you
remember
again,
much
Mike.
about it.
I am very thankful for the 911 operator and the paramedic that taught me through the whole thing. I would have never been able to have known what to do for Brian, and of course he would have never took his first breath.
You want to hold it?
Yeah, let me try him out here. It's been a while. I feel like I was a help, but I feel like the grandmother was the main factor that this child is in the world right now. She did everything that I told her to do. She was fantastic. She really was. Since you did most of the work, I'll let you.
I'm very happy that this child made it. I want to hold him and hug him.
Yeah, he's come a long way.
Makes me feel very good that I made a difference.
I'm not going to have a little facelift when she gets through kissing all over me. I've heard several people mention to us that he's just a miracle baby, and to us, he definitely is a miracle. I know he's going to be loved so much, and I know he's going to be spoiled rotten.
This one.